In today's video, I'm going to compare the difference between being a mortgage loan officer to being a real estate agent and which one is the better path of a career. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I started my career as a real estate agent and then I became a real estate broker, and today I'm a mortgage broker. So if you're trying to capture that information, you're gonna find this video very useful. And with that, let's jump right into it. I wanna talk about the overview of the roles, because a real estate agent sells properties, right? They list properties for sale, they sell properties, and then they negotiate leases. Whereas a loan officer negotiates mortgages for a purchase, a refinance, and a cash out. I think on the surface, both of the roles tend to be pretty similar because they revolve around sales. It's just that one of them is revolving around the tangible asset of the physical real estate, whereas the second one simply deals with the financing piece. I want to give an unbiased opinion about both of them, and I'm going to go 1 through 10 and vote whether my vote goes for the real estate agent or for the loan officer in any particular department. Now, what I would love for you is to do the same in the comments below and let me know if you agree with my choices or if you have a different opinion. I'd love to know. So with that, let's get started. Number 1 on the list, education. So when you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, all that's really required is a real estate agent's license. And I'm in California in Los Angeles. And so the Department of Real Estate is who governs our license. So I have both a real estate license, a broker license, and an NMLS endorsement on that license. So I would say in the Department of Education, I would have to say that it is easier for the real estate agent simply because they only need one license, whereas the loan officer actually needs 2 licenses, both the license through the Department of Real Estate and the NMLS endorsement. So that would be number 1. It would be easier to go the real estate agent route. Number 2 is the income piece. Now, this is a little tricky. The real estate agent actually makes more money than the loan officer simply because they make 2 to 3% of the contract price. However, the loan officer has the opportunity to do more transactions in a normal market. They could do purchases, refis, sometimes a lot of refis, and cash outs. So I would think that there's more opportunity for the loan officer. However, I can tell you this, when real estate agents sell high-end properties, it is very hard for loan officers to compete with their income. Now, that's not the majority of real estate agents. So for this category number 2, I'm actually gonna go with loan officer. Loan officer does have the advantage. If you disagree with me, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Number 3, let's talk about the market demand. Here in Los Angeles, it is so saturated in terms of how many people have a real estate license that I would say that it would take so much effort for a real estate agent to get established simply because they would have to weed out all the other people that already have a real estate license. I would say for somebody to take the extra mile and to get an NMLS endorsement, go through the test and pay for it annually is a lot less. So in the Department of Market Demand, I would say that there's more market demand for a loan officer than there is for a real estate agent. So for that, number 3, I'm gonna give that to the loan officer as the winner. Now, number 4 is client interaction. And that's kind of a big one because this is where you spend a lot of your time. I would say that as a real estate agent, you cannot bypass the fact that you have to interact with clients. That's basically how you're going to get to know them, how you're going to get to know what it is that they want and, understand their needs. So you do spend a lot of time with the clients, driving them around, whereas the loan officer, they only have to talk to the client over the phone, get to know them. They could do a Zoom meeting and they could get their documents via email. It is a lot easier. So I would say that for number 4, client interaction, I think that it's a lot easier for the loan officer than it is for the real estate agent. I would definitely give this one to the loan officer. Now, work and life balance. Real estate agents have to work on the weekends because typically speaking, if you're going to sell a property and get introduced to buyers, you're going to hold open houses, whether it's for yourself or other people in your company. So I would say in terms of having a work-life balance, I think both of them can coordinate their schedules the way they want to. But if your time to spend with your family is on the weekend when the kids are off school, if that's what you got going, then I would say being a loan officer is probably easier. You can handle a lot of these things on the phone versus having to be present at the open house. Now, mind you, in the beginning, when you want to build up your book of business, your referral partners, it is a good idea to sit open houses with your referral partners, your real estate agents. But as you grow, it's not mandatory. And I would say for real estate agents, it's a lot more mandatory than it is for loan officers. So I would say for that one, number 5, work-life balance, I would definitely give that one to the loan officer. So number 6, I want to cover skill sets for a second. Now this one kind of falls into 2 departments. 1, personality, and number 2, actual skills. I feel like it's a part of it is skill set and a part of it is actually personality. So for the real estate agent, it's somebody who's more outgoing, I would say, who likes to socialize a lot, but it's still a sales position. Whereas for the loan officer, it's more of an analytical job, I would say, somebody who really likes numbers, but still you have to be somewhat of a salesperson because you're selling a loan. I would say in terms of skills, they both require different skills. I would say that being a real estate agent initially helped me understand all the contracts. In terms of skills, loan officers, in my opinion, would have to win in that department because they both have to understand the real estate contracts and they have to know the lending piece. Number 6, skill set, I would have to give that one to the loan officer. Now we're moving on to number 7, which is career growth. Both positions, both real estate and loan officer, have an opportunity to either be a lending manager or an office manager. And that typically gives you a team of people underneath you once you reach a certain milestone in your career and understanding that you can kind of pass on your knowledge, oversee a group of people and help them with their deals. I feel like that's very even on both. You could either be a lending manager or an office manager. So I would say that's pretty much a tie. Number 8, job stability. Honestly, I would probably give this one to the real estate agent just because the lending business is very indicative on the market, whether rates go up and down, and if rates go up a lot, it becomes very difficult to originate loans. Ironically, it trickles down to the real estate agent because clearly people are not buying or selling if rates are higher. But if I had to pick a winner for job stability, number 8, I would give that one to the real estate agent, that their job is more stable. My personal opinion about the actual journey of a real estate agent versus a loan officer, I would say, look, I've been on both sides of the fence. I feel like being a real estate agent is a very difficult job simply because it's very saturated. You have to knock on doors to get business and you have to market a lot in certain areas for an extended, when I say extended, I mean years before people really start to warm up to you. I feel like being a lender, there's just more opportunities. You do have the opportunity to do refis and purchases. And there is a completely other side to lending, which is basically the non-QM and private lending and commercial, which I honestly think is where the money is. And ironically, if you're still watching this, in the description below, I created a course called the Part-Time Commercial Lender Academy. And if I was gonna get involved in any of this today, I would go directly into the private money and commercial space for lending because I feel like that's where there's the most amount of opportunity and quite frankly, there's a lot less red tape. Whenever you're dealing with residential lending, there's a ton of hoops that you gotta jump through. However, a lot of those go away when you're dealing with private money investments and commercial lending. So if you're interested and you want to find out, check out the link in the description below. It's something that you could do part-time, get started with it, earn lucrative commissions, and you could do it as a side hustle. I think it's a great idea. My vote, though, would be for a loan officer simply because I was on both sides of the fence and I know how difficult it is to be a real estate agent and how saturated and competitive it is. And I feel like being a loan officer, you take that knowledge, you move it over, you build on top of it, and you have other avenues of opportunity. So that would be my vote. I would love to know what your vote is. Why don't you let me know? Drop me a comment in the description below. Let me know what you think. Maybe you're a real estate agent. Maybe you have a different experience than me. I would love to hear about it, all right? So if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button simply because it would help Google push this forward to other people like yourself. And if you like videos like this, then please subscribe to the channel so you could see more videos like this in the future. As always, you're awesome. I appreciate you being here. I really do. And I'll catch you again on the next video. Take care.